Yeah, well, we are very lucky here. We're lucky enough at CBS News to have been joined by a group of very, very talented interns this summer. As part of their program, the interns were put into groups and tasked with producing a story on their own in 1 week.
There were 8 great, incredible stories, but only one could be chosen. And now we want to show you the story that was handpicked by CBS executives, along with myself, as the winner. Take a look.
The hijab is a cloth worn by many Muslim women to cover their heads as an act of modesty. While it has roots in the Islamic faith, the hijab itself has become a source of controversy. Nearly a dozen countries have restrictions or bans on Islamic headscarves, and in the West, it's often seen as a tool of oppression. Today, reporter Kanak looks beyond the veil with Muslim American women who see the hijab as a form of self-expression, and the fashion industry is taking note.
Melanie Al-Turk, an American-born Muslim, was never satisfied with the limited selection of hijabs.
All we had were hijabs that came from our parents and other people who came from overseas. And it was black, white, or ivory.
So Melanie got creative. She scoured vintage stores for scarves and started experimenting.
I loved to wear hijab, but I didn't allow it to be a barrier for my own style and for my personal expression. So much so that I actually won Best Dressed in high school.
I just wrapped the photo shoot.
Haute Hijab sells fashion-forward headscarves, and modern Muslims are embracing the lively prints and colors. But the new styles don't change the old stereotypes.
Oftentimes people look at me sometimes with eyes of pity, as if they feel like I've been forced to wear this. And I'll look at them and smile and try and convey that I'm wearing this out of my own volition because I love wearing it.
Here in the U.S., Muslim women in traditional dress are sometimes viewed as oppressed, even powerless.
I find, hijab and dressing modestly very empowering to me.
More than 40,000 Instagram followers look to Sobi Masood for modest outfit inspiration. But even Sobi, a student at the Fashion Institute of Technology, says stylish apparel for Muslim women is hard to find.
There's not much out there, which does mean there's a lot of improvising that's done, which does mean there's a lot of searching that goes into it.
Fashion designers like Dolce & Gabbana are aiming to fill that void. Last January, the brand released a collection of modest dresses and hijabs inspired by the Middle East. But they're not the only ones. Other luxury brands are also jumping into this multi-billion-dollar market.
Globally, Muslims spend $230 billion on fashion. Of that, Muslims in the U.S. spend $6.8 billion.
But the designer collection is not without controversy. Some in the Muslim community say that the Dolce & Gabbana models were dressed indecently. Other modest wear lines have received criticism for being out of touch or inappropriate.
Not everyone can afford a designer hijab that rings up at hundreds of dollars. So small, independent designers like Zatil Hashim are making hijabs for the everyday woman. Zatil had never taken a sewing class, so she turned to YouTube videos for guidance and began making hijabs for her friends.
People feel that wearing hijab is like something conservative. So now it's more than that. It has become like a fashion statement. I think it's good because it somehow will encourage women, especially Muslim women, to wear hijab.
Zatil launched My Hijab New York 1 year ago from her apartment. She posts photos of the designs on social media, and customers from the U.S. to Indonesia messaged her to place orders.
Most of my customers, I still keep in touch with them, so it's like a close connection, and I like it that way.
While the choice to wear a hijab is often personal, the fashion industry's new offerings are allowing women who want to wear them to own their Muslim and American identities.
It normalizes hijab within the mainstream so that people can see the hijab as something that is familiar.
That's our show for this morning. Thanks for watching. You can see more of this story on CBSN and on our website, cbsnews.com. I'm Javonni Hampton.
That was really good.
That was a great story. So the way that this worked is, as we said, there were 8 projects and there were 2 groups. And these were like high-level executives, including David Rose, the president of CBS. I was probably the lowest-ranked dude or person in that was allowed to take part in this. And at the end, out of these 8, we all gave them scores. There was another group. I didn't see this project. Then they were all judged. The top 4 were judged by Jeff Fager.
Oh.
And so that's the winning piece that you just saw there was deemed by Jeff Fager to be the one that deserves all these accolades. And we want to say huge congratulations to the interns. Here they are. They're all here. Thank you guys for all of your hard work. Let me just say your names here. Javonni Hampton, Kanak, Maya Kaufman, Atoria Mills, Andrew Stewart, and Zack Newman. You guys did an incredible job. That was such a great piece. And these guys work throughout the network, right? They're not just at CBS This Morning or at the Evening News. They're at 48 Hours. They're at 60 Minutes. Some of you work in the investigative unit. Some of you work on the desk. And we could not get along without you. We just want you guys to know that. And to answer a lot of people's questions, you guys edited this. You shot this yourselves. You wrote the script. You produced it. You did everything. So these are the future Scott Pelley's, Steve Crofts, Leslie Stahl's. Yeah. No, you don't want to be a Vladimir Duterte. You don't want to be a Vladimir Duterte. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.